GCN does science.
Hashtag data.
A while ago, we tested the effects of bike weight on climbing speeds, but in a laboratory setting. And while this is undeniably the most accurate way to test it, there's a big part of us that still wants to see what the effect is out on the open road.
And what better place to do than here on the col de Sestriere, the scene of many battles in the Tour de France and the 2015 Giro d'Italia.
Yeah, so what we're going to do, Matt and I are going to do 2 runs of this climb each. Now it's about 8 kilometres long, an average gradient of about 7%. I am going to use my Garmin Vector power meter to ride at a consistent power both runs. I'm then going to do the second run with 2 kilograms of ballast added to my bike, and then we can compare the times directly.
I'm going to do exactly the same, but my power meter is going to be in here. Old school, all on feel, because I think that perception is still really valuable and very, very important.
Have you calibrated this morning?
It took me a bit of time because obviously we're at altitude, but it's pretty much spot on and I'm ready to go.
Let's do some pedalling.
My bike weighs in at 6.928 kilograms without weight, and then with a full water bottle, 7.595. Then finally, with ballast added, it comes in at 9.505. So that's a differential of around 2 kilograms, taking into account the full water bottle on both runs. So, round 1, the ballast bike. Let's give it a nudge. Just trying to keep a nice rhythm, keep my breathing controlled, which is actually harder than you think at altitude. I think I found a good level which I can sustain for the half an hour effort, there or thereabouts.
Okay then, first run, light bike. Let's give it a go. Not much to report, kind of feels like normal.
Well, round 1 done. That's pretty tough.
That is quite a hard climb, isn't it? Especially with the altitude, but well, let's do it again.
Indeed, well, we won't really be able to do any comparisons until round 2, but I think might need a quick lie down.
My bike weighs in at 7.3 kilos, and that's with the Garmin Verb on the handlebars, obviously. With the bottle, it takes it up to 7.875, and then with the ballast, it weighs in at a pretty hefty 9.8 kilograms. Run number 2, ballast bike. Feels weird getting out of the saddle. You can feel the weight on the bike. Definitely noticeable in my head.
So, ascent number 2 coming up. Let's hope the legs hold out. See you later. I'm trying to keep the same effort, perceived effort, so it's difficult, and breathing's controlled, but the bike does feel just that little bit lighter and more sprightly on the steep sections, and I think I'm going a little bit quicker, but with time will tell. Sorry, can't speak.
Now the results are in, but before we give you them, we must stress this is not a controlled test, so this is purely for discussion only. We can't account for things like wind or anything like that, but it is nevertheless very interesting. On my bike, so I was riding to an average power of 320 watts on both runs. I was 35 seconds slower with the heavier bike. So that doesn't actually sound like all that much. It's only about 2% of my overall time. But Matt, on the other hand, that was really interesting.
It was. Well, I went on the light bike, I went 1 minute and 3/4 quicker. Now that was for exactly the same perceived effort. So in relation to that, it was the pain in my legs and also my breathing. And that remained the same for the whole of each ride. And where I noticed the difference was when the road pitched up above 7–8% gradient and the bike felt far more responsive and I could use a bigger gear on the steeper parts. I think that's where I made up the time.
Well, and even more interesting was that it was your second run when you were on the lighter bike. So one would have thought that you had a bit of fatigue in the old legs there. So conclusions then, well, perhaps if we're after pure performance, clearly we can see that a lighter bike is going to be faster on a climb, but the difference isn't necessarily as big as you'd think. But when it's out of pure enjoyment and perceived effort, it made a huge difference.
Certainly did.
So maybe, there it is, a lighter bike will make you go faster, but it will feel even faster than that. So that's our experience, but we'd be really interested to know what you guys think. Have, for example, you recently got yourself a lighter bike and did you notice a difference? Let us know in the comment section down below.
Yeah, and for our other GCN Does Science videos, click up here. What makes the bigger difference, a lighter bike or a lighter body?
We know really though that your legs make probably the biggest difference of all. So don't neglect your training. Check out the GCN training playlist just down there.
And remember, to subscribe to GCN is absolutely free. How about clicking on our rather fatigued legs? Or that rather beautiful mountain too. I'm absolutely foddered, you?
Yeah, pizza?
Definitely, and a cappuccino. Here we go, round 2. Let's just hope the legs hold up. See ya. I'll still my head actually, just keep my hair in place. Can we do a dry run?
Did you get that?
Yeah.